Hello, everyone, welcome back to my channel. I need you to listen carefully, because what I'm about to reveal will shake everything you thought you knew about love, attraction, and why she will come back to you, 100%. You see, men often make the fatal mistake of believing absence kills desire. They panic when she pulls away, sending endless messages, begging for attention, trying to force what's meant to flow naturally. But desire isn't a transaction. It's not about persistence. It's about understanding the invisible threads that pull her heart toward you when she's ready. Right now, she's thinking about you. She's replaying every moment you shared, every conversation, every laugh, every subtle touch that left a mark on her mind. She might act cold, distant, or even indifferent, but here's the secret. Those behaviors are not signs of disinterest. They're signs that the emotional architecture between you and her is still under construction. She's testing the stability of your presence. She's measuring whether you can handle the quiet tension, the absence, the space between your messages. And this is where most men fall apart. They misread her silence as rejection, as a cue to chase harder, to flood her world with proof of your devotion. That's when she pulls further away. She doesn't need proof. She needs intrigue. She needs mystery. She needs a man who can be her anchor without drowning her freedom. You see, the 100% truth is this. She will come back when the magnetic pull of your composed confidence becomes stronger than the curiosity that drives her to test boundaries. Here's what most men overlook. Women remember emotions far more than words. Your calm in the storm, your ability to value yourself without demanding her attention, your subtle reminders of what it feels like to be around you. These are the invisible signals that etch you into her subconscious. It's not about controlling her. It's about becoming the man she can't help but think of when the noise of the world fades. Right now, as you watch this, I want you to understand this deeply. Every second you resist the urge to chase, every moment you invest in your own life, every silent message of self-assuredness is pulling her closer without you saying a single word. The next steps I'm about to show you will amplify this pull so powerfully, it becomes irresistible. Most men fail to realize that absence alone isn't enough. She doesn't come back just because you stop texting. She comes back because you've created a tension she can't ignore, a presence that lingers in her mind even when you're not there. Think about it. Every memory she has of you is like a spark, and sparks grow into flames only when you stop trying to fuel them yourself. Here's the truth. Women subconsciously track emotional value, not time spent. She notices how she felt with you, how you made her laugh, how secure and alive she felt when she was around you. When you disappear from her routine, not with anger or bitterness, but with calm self-possession, you're activating something primal inside her. That pull, that need to reconnect, grows stronger with every day she experiences the void of your energy. Now, most men panic here. They send long messages. They call. They apologize unnecessarily. They try to solve the problem with logic, with words, when what she's feeling is entirely emotional. This is the pivot point. You must step back without stepping out of her mind. You must become the version of yourself she can't stop picturing. Someone confident, untouchable, unshakably focused on their own life, but whose shadow lingers in her heart. Do you see the power of this? She's not thinking about the chase. She's thinking about the space you occupy in her memory. Every shared secret, every laugh, every subtle compliment you gave her, these are not gone. They've seeded a desire that doesn't die because it's rooted in emotion, not convenience. And now, in your absence, her mind circles back to those feelings, seeking resolution, seeking the man who made her feel alive. Here's another secret most men don't understand. Patience is seductive. It's magnetic. Women instinctively test it because they want to see if a man can hold his value without crumbling under their distance. This is not manipulation, it's natural psychology. And when you honor your worth quietly, without drama, she senses that you are rare, irreplaceable. That's when the return becomes inevitable. Every action you take now must reinforce this invisible pull, not with words or demands, but with lifestyle, composure, and subtle reminders of your presence. This is how you create the tension that she cannot resist, how you set the stage for her to come back 100%. Remember, desire thrives on mystery, confidence, and the subtle echo of a man she hasn't stopped thinking about. Now let's get into the part most men never understand, the triggers that make her come back 100%. It's not magic, it's psychology. Every woman carries an unconscious checklist of emotional signals. She looks for security, excitement, respect, and unpredictability, the perfect balance that keeps her emotionally invested. If you've already given glimpses of this, even in fleeting moments, she's already tethered to you. And right now, she's feeling the weight of your absence because she hasn't yet found the same combination anywhere else. One of the most powerful triggers is contrast. You need to subtly remind her of the emotions she felt with you, without doing it overtly. A message, a social media post, a story about your life that shows joy, success, and self-respect. These are not desperate attempts. They're psychological anchors. They create a mirror in her mind. Why does he seem so fulfilled without me? Why can't I stop thinking about him? That tiny seed of curiosity, once planted, grows faster than any direct chase could ever achieve. Here's where men trip themselves up. They try to engineer feelings. They want her to feel longing because they wrote the perfect message or recreated a perfect memory. But desire doesn't obey scripts. It responds to subtle signals, your calm confidence, your visible enjoyment of life, the fact that she can't predict your next move. She's watching, testing, observing whether you're broken by her absence or whether you've become untouchable in your own life. Emotions are contagious, and right now, she's catching the ones you've projected all along. Your calm, your self-worth, your refusal to settle for less than you deserve. These are the things that tug at her subconscious. They remind her of what she's losing if she doesn't return. And remember, it's not about rushing her or controlling her. It's about becoming the man she instinctively wants to reconnect with, the man whose absence she feels like a void. Another trigger is mystery. When you reveal too much, too soon, she loses intrigue. But when you maintain layers, when she only catches glimpses of your success, your happiness, your evolving life, she starts filling the gaps herself. The mind always wants completion. She will come back to resolve that tension, to reconnect with the man who embodies what she wants but can't fully define. Right now, she's analyzing, wondering, feeling, but unable to act, because you've created the perfect mix of attraction, patience, and emotional tension. She's drawn to the unspoken promise of you. And when she finally returns, it won't be because you begged. It will be because she realized emotionally, on a deep, instinctive level, that you are the one she cannot replace. Now, let's talk about acceleration. There's a delicate art to speeding up her return without ever appearing desperate, without sending a single message that screams, "I need you." Most men ruin everything by over-communicating, by trying to manufacture a response. The truth is, desire is not manufactured. It's nurtured through absence, subtlety, and the invisible power of your value. First, focus on your life in a way that she can't ignore. Elevate your routine, your habits, your energy. Post glimpses of growth, adventure, and happiness. Not to show off, not to provoke jealousy, but to remind her subconsciously that you are a man whose presence carries weight. She will notice the contrast between your calm, thriving life and the emptiness she feels in her own world without you. That contrast is magnetic. Second, master emotional recall. You don't need to message her about the past. You simply need to exist in a way that evokes memories naturally. Mutual friends, shared spaces, subtle online presence, these act as triggers that pull her subconscious toward moments where she felt alive with you. When her mind recreates those emotions, the return becomes inevitable. Third, understand timing. You cannot control when she comes back, but you can control how irresistible you are when she does. A man who has maintained composure, who has increased his value in the time apart, suddenly becomes the solution to an emotional tension she's been carrying. She experiences a gravitational pull to resolve what she's been internally wrestling with. The connection, the spark, the emotional high she cannot replicate elsewhere. Another key factor is scarcity, not in terms of being aloof, but in terms of not overexposing your availability. When she senses that your attention is valuable, that your energy is not wasted on anyone who doesn't deserve it, her desire intensifies. Scarcity communicates worth. Confidence communicates stability. Together, they create an irresistible magnet that draws her back toward you. Finally, embody mystery. Share glimpses. Reveal little. Let her imagination fill in the gaps. Humans are wired to seek completion, to chase resolution. She will come back, not because you demanded it, but because her mind and heart are seeking closure, and the closure can only be with you. Remember this: every day you act with composure, every moment you reinforce your own value, every subtle reminder she encounters of who you are compounds into an irresistible force. By the time she returns, it will not be out of obligation or nostalgia. It will be out of an undeniable emotional certainty that you are the one she cannot ignore, the one she was unconsciously waiting for all along. Now, let's get into mindset, the invisible edge that most men completely overlook. If you want her to come back 100%, you must become untouchable in your own life first. This isn't about arrogance, it's about emotional sovereignty. She will be drawn to the man who doesn't rely on her validation, the man who thrives whether she's present or not. When you own your energy, your emotions, your happiness, you become magnetic in a way that words cannot replicate. Think about it. She is constantly evaluating emotional reliability. She asks herself, consciously or not, can he hold his ground without me? Does he have a life I can't disrupt? Your confidence, stability, and self-respect are signals she cannot ignore. These qualities tap directly into her subconscious, triggering desire, curiosity, and emotional longing simultaneously. She doesn't want a man who bends and pleads. She wants the man whose presence is both rare and unshakable. Another key point: stop obsessing over her actions. Women are drawn to men who are unpredictable in the best sense, not because you play games, but because your life is full and compelling. She notices when you are invested in growth, adventure, success, and friendships. That subtle energy, combined with absence, makes her realize what she's missing. She starts to feel the weight of your quiet influence before she even acts on it. You must also understand emotional mirrors. Women reflect the energy you give. If you remain calm, confident, and emotionally unbothered, she will subconsciously adjust her feelings to match the level of intrigue and admiration you project. She will come back because she cannot resist aligning with the power she senses in you, an energy she's been missing, even if she doesn't fully recognize it yet. Lastly, remember the unspoken behaviors. Don't chase, don't overcommunicate, don't apologize unnecessarily. Live your life loudly in the quiet ways. Your growth, your humor, your confidence. Every subtle indicator of value sends a signal she can't consciously ignore. She will return, drawn to the emotional gravity of a man who knows his worth, who respects her space, and who has become a mystery she cannot solve without re-entering your life. This is where the magic happens. Her return will not feel forced. It will feel inevitable. Your calm patience, your unwavering self-respect, your mastery of subtle influence, these create a gravitational pull stronger than words, texts, or arguments ever could. And when she returns, It's not just about rekindling the past. It's about entering a new dynamic where she sees you as the man she truly wants, the man she unconsciously needs.